I'm Kate Jewell, and this installment of Comic Smack is brought to you by the good folks over at Geek Fuel. If you've followed my channel for any amount of time, you've seen me open packages from this great company before. They allow a box full of geeky goodies to be delivered to your door every month and for a reasonable price. And this month, they want you to know about a brand new, special, one-of-a-kind offer that they're giving you, the fans. For the first time ever, you will be allowed to get your first box of Geek Fuel till the end of the month completely free, minus shipping and handling. So if you want to get a bunch of great geek stuff like what I decorate my set with, you absolutely can. Check out Geek Fuel, tell them Kate Jewell sent you, and with that we can hop on into our review for the day, which we're going to be taking a closer look at Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 2. Can our hero crack the case, make a date, and hang out with his friends all at the same time? Well, let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? Alrighty then, so as you'll remember from the last issue, Spider-Man was hot on the trail of a bunch of hacked Stark Tech phones. The trail of clues led him away from New York and into a secluded suburban area in Chicago where he came up against a person in an Iron Man costume, only it looked like a person in an Iron Man costume. Apparently the artist messed up because it was actually supposed to be Riri Williams, the brand new Ironheart. Riri, as you might have guessed, is totally ticked off at Spider-Man for showing up at her front door dressed as a hero. Might as well put up a giant neon sign that says, "Hey villains, superhero lives here, come kill me please." Luckily, the Hollow Tony is able to calm down everything between Riri and Peter. In fact, this is actually the first time Spider-Man is meeting the new Hollow Tony. One of the best gags of this issue is that Chip Zdarsky goes out of his way to have a bunch of those little amendum boxes on stuff that you need to know that's going on in the greater Marvel universe, but crack jokes about things like what's going on with Captain America and the Secret Empire right now. It's good stuff. Ironheart agrees to help Spider-Man deal with the hacked phones. Meanwhile, back in New York, Pete has a whole other set of problems waiting for him. Mainly Teresa has shown back up in his life. Who is Teresa? Well, she's Peter's sister, sort of, kind of, not really. Okay, she was a CIA agent who the supervillain Mentalo brainwashed into believing that she was the daughter of Peter Parker's CIA agent parents. This was part of a much bigger plot by Kingpin to try and get his hand on some Nazi gold. It's a good story, you should go back and read it sometime, it's lots of fun. Essentially, as Teresa puts it, Mentalo's brainwashing just sort of wore off one day, which is great for her because it means that she and Peter can have a relationship again, but it's also kind of shitty because Kingpin also found out Peter Parker's secret identity in that issue, and if the brainwashing wore off for her, it might wear off for him too. Oops, hope that doesn't happen. What's Teresa doing in New York right now? Well, it seems after she quit being a CIA agent, she joined a group called the Grey Blade, an offshoot of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Their bag was stuff like hostage rescuing and information gathering, only the group may have gone too far in a couple places because they were working on something called Operation Twilight, which required them to gather a bunch of very important information on well-known superheroes and villains. I'm talking straight up Tower of Babel stuff that could easily be used to hurt people. Teresa tried to blow the whistle on the organization, but ended up becoming its enemy and having to flee to the only person she could trust, Peter. Pete decides to let his not sister crash with him until the heat dies down, but he has some other fish to fry at the moment, namely going to his date with that female comedian from the previous issue. The extra complication in this situation being that this lady wanted to go out on a date with Spider-Man, not Peter Parker, so Pete shows up to the date wearing his costume and a suit jacket. We actually managed to learn a fair amount about this potential new love interest. She's a comedian, she's new to New York, and oh, she's Canadian. Why, Chip Zdarsky, have you been reading my dream journal again? The date takes a rather unfortunate turn when a dickbag starts making a scene at the coffee shop. Spider-Man, being the good guy that he is, steps on in to defend the barista, who still charged him $6 for that coffee, by the way. Johnny Storm the Human Torch steps in right around here too, getting a little ticked off at Peter for breaking off their bro-tastic movie date and also leaving him to babysit the not sister. This leads to a pretty interesting and pretty funny conversation about how Spider-Man probably is worse at carrying on a relationship with a woman than Peter is, because I mean, Spider-Man always has a target painted on his back. Now, in a nice bit of everything coming full circle as the comic begins to wind down, Pete gets a call from Riri about the cracked cell phones. Apparently, she's managed to narrow down the people who had the skill to do so to a small area of New York, but he's not gonna like who is one of those people in that area because it's Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. So there you have it, everyone. That was Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 2, and overall, I still found it really enjoying. It's a nice, refreshing, light, and breezy take on Spider-Man, something we haven't gotten from Amazing in quite a while. Chip Zdarsky has definitely crafted a joke-a-minute comic here. We get wordplay, we get one-liners, one-liners, we get sight gags, we get gags within the word bubbles. Maybe not everyone's a knee slapper, but with the sheer machine gun level delivery, surely one will hit for you. I'm digging the new characters we got in this story, and I'm liking to see Spider-Man be part of a bigger superhero community again, hanging out with the Human Torch, hanging out with new heroes like Ironheart. It's a good balance. My only real gripe is the art, and that is it seems to have taken a couple steps down from the previous issue. It didn't ruin it for me, but it took something that could have been great and just made it good. Overall, I'd give it an 8. So there's your taste of Spider-Man for the week, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, why not check out some of these other videos I've worked on. Then you can follow me on social media at Cape Joel across everything. And if you're feeling supportive, you can always become a patron. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and podcasts before anyone else, and they can do so for as little as $1. So until next time, everyone, this has been Cape Joel. Thank you so much for watching.